Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Kauranita Mayapur Sasi Jaya Kauranita Jaya Mayapur Sasi Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadramaye Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Nidai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Hare Krishna. So welcome you all. We'll continue our discussion on Canto 10, Chapter 9. Now let me share my screen. Okay. Hare Bol. So, hope you can see my screen now. So we were discussing Canto 9, Canto 10, Chapter 9, where we, as of now, we have seen how once Mother Yashoda, he was churning a butter for Krishna, and then Krishna woke up. Krishna came around and he was hungry in the morning and he wanted to have a milk, and she hold the mortar grinding rod and then asked Mother Yashoda to feed him. And while Mother Yashoda was feeding Krishna, Mother Yashoda already had kept some milk to boil on the stoves, and when Krishna was drinking milk, this milk on the stoves, they started overflowing, and they are putting themselves in a fire. And by seeing that, Mother Yashoda kept aside Krishna, and she ran towards to take care of the milk who were overflowing. And as Mother Yashoda went back there, and she managed to do everything, and then when she was coming back, while she came back and she saw a mess there, the mess was made by Krishna. Krishna became angry. He was not satisfied completely, but still Mother Yashoda left him aside. By seeing that, by this activity, Krishna got angry and he broke the yogurt pots with a stone, and then he entered into a room where there were more butter, and from there he started feeding butter to the monkeys. And Mother Yashoda, when she saw the little footsteps of Krishna, she knew where Krishna was, and Mother Yashoda also confirmed that no one was here. So all his activities were actually done by Krishna himself, and she started following Krishna very, very slowly, with a very, very, very slowly. And then Krishna saw Mother Yashoda coming behind with a stick, he started running away from Mother Yashoda, and then Mother Yashoda started running behind him, and we saw how because Mother Yashoda was a bit heavy in her weight, and the flower fell down from her hair, and then eventually Mother Yashoda could manage to hold Krishna. And then by seeing the stick on the head of Mother Yashoda, Krishna became very fearful and he started crying. And let's see what happens next. So that's how we discussed still yesterday. Like when caught by Mother Yashoda, Krishna became more and more offended, admitted to being an offender. Right. So now he was rubbing his eyes with his hand. He smeared ointment all over his face, the kajal, and that's what we discussed yesterday. Let's see. Let's from text 12. We'll continue today. Let's chant the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Text 12. त्यक्त्वा यस्तिं सुतं भीतं विज्ञायार्भक वत्सला येषु किल तं बद्धं दाम्नात्तद् वीर्य कोविदा. Kishore Prabhu, can you please read translation?
Hare Krishna. Mother Yashoda was always overwhelmed by intense love for Krishna, not knowing who Krishna was or how powerful he was. Because of material affection for Krishna, she never ever cared to know who he was. Therefore, when she saw that her son had become excessively afraid, she threw the stick away and desired to bind him so that he would not commit any further naughty activities. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. I think we discussed this one yesterday a bit as well about the current scenario where chastisement is needed or not. However, Mother Yashoda, she threw the stick away and she desired to bind Krishna, so that the reason being that he would not commit any further naughty activities again. Right. So, Purport Prabhupada says that Mother Yashoda wanted to bind Krishna not in order to chastise him, but because she thought that the child was so restless that he might leave the house in fear, and that would be another disturbances. Right. Therefore, because of full affection, to stop Krishna from leaving the house, she wanted to bind him with rope. And Mother Yashoda wanted to impress upon Krishna that since he was afraid merely to see her stick, he should not perform such disturbing activities as breaking the container of yogurts and butter and distributing its content to the monkeys. Mother Yashoda did not care to understand who Krishna was and how his power spreads everywhere. This is an example of pure love for Krishna. So here, this pure love, Vatsalya love is there. So I think we're discussing other areas as well, like the Yogamaya, she covers Mother Yashoda that Krishna is supreme one. Even if you see in Canto chapter 8, where Mother Yashoda in the past time, where Krishna, the Gopas, they complained about Krishna that Krishna has eaten the dirt. He has eaten the earth. No, so see, and Mother Yashoda, Krishna says, no, I haven't eaten it. And Mother Yashoda says, okay, open your mouth and then let me say it away right directly. And then when Krishna opened his mouth, what we see? Mother Yashoda saw whole universe inside Krishna's mouth. And then she saw within the universe, there is a place, Vrindavan, where Mother Yashoda is actually seeing Krishna. And but as soon as she saw this, but in a blink of time, the Yogamaya made her forget everything about the opulence of Krishna. That's why so that the Vatsalya Prema Krishna and Mother Yashoda has, it continues, right? And even in our hearing lecture, they even described that even when Mother Yashoda asked Krishna Can you open your mouth and let me see it? Then Krishna, being afraid of getting caught that he has eaten earth, Krishna is saying to us, shouting to all the Yogamaya, says, please come soon and then cover this to Mother Yashoda. And then the Yogamaya does the potency and he shows everything in the mouth of Krishna, right? However, she forgot everything. So that's how he says, Mother Yashoda did not care to understand who Krishna was and how his power spreads everywhere. But this is pure love for Krishna. Even the Brajavasis, they don't take Krishna as seriously as as God, Supreme Lord. They always have an affectional relationship with Krishna. Even sometimes, the when Krishna goes around, the devatas, they comes and they pay their obeisances, and by looking at Krishna, and then Krishna, they say, okay, okay, that's okay. But no, the point is that the Gopas, they says, yeah, Krishna, maybe God, maybe Supreme, I don't care, we don't care, but what we care is Krishna is our friend. So the friendship of Krishna is much more higher to us than Krishna being the Supreme Lord. That's how this Sakya rasa and Vatsalya rasa, these mellows, they relish it. Just imagine if Mother Yashoda knew that Krishna is supreme being, supreme personality of Godhead, then it's a different case. Mother Yashoda, whenever any demons comes and try to harm Krishna, what Mother Yashoda does, Mother Yashoda and all the gopis, they used to worship Vishnu. They worship Vishnu with so many mantras, so that the Vishnu could protect Krishna. Just imagine if Mother Yashoda knew that Krishna is the one who is supreme being, then what is the point of worshipping Vishnu, right? So that rasa we cannot releasable. So that's why Yogamaya plays a potency here, and then Mother Yashoda forgets everything about Krishna being supreme Lord. She's just playing the motherly pastime over there, right? So, and also in previous days we are discussing about the gopis, the complaining Krishna to Mother Yashoda, saying that your Krishna is a very good kind of he steals very nicely. So maybe when he becomes young, when he grew up, he can actually bring so much wealth and so many wives at your home. He will steal everyone's wealth and wives. So in that sense, Mother Yashoda thought, let me uh, do something so that he doesn't do this kind of activities in future, right? So that he could not commit this any naughty activities, right? That's a Vatsalya ras is happening now. Let's see next two verses, 13 and 14. न चान्तर न बहिर्यस्य न पूर्वं नापि चापरं पूर्वापरं बहिश्चान्तर जगतो यगच्चयः तं मात् तं मत्वा तं मत्वात्मजम् अवक्तं मर्त्यालिङ्गमधोक्षजं गोप्यो खुले दाम्ना बन्धान् बबन्धं प्रकृतं यथा. Now Mother Yashoda thought to bind, and now she starts binding it, right? Yeah, Mangesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior and no interior, no front and no rear. In other words, He is all pervading because He is not under the influence of the element of time. For Him, there is no difference between past, present, and future. He exists in His own transcendental form at all times. Being absolute, beyond relativity, He is free from distinctions between cause and effect. Although He is the cause and effect of everything, that unmanifested person who is beyond the perception of the senses had now appeared as a human child, and Mother Yashoda, considering him her own ordinary child, bound him to the wooden mortar with a rope. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So Mother Yashoda, considering him as his ordinary child, she started binding Krishna even with a rope or water. So even if you see when Gargamuni came and the Namakarana of Krishna and Balram happened, even that time Gargamuni did not clearly explain that Krishna is supreme person. And even I was hearing another lecture, this being said that even Gargamuni didn't knew that Krishna is supreme being. I mean, there are more context actually. Let's not dive there. Yeah, the what we describe is that the Garga Muni didn't reveal everything that Krishna is a supreme being. He just gave indication that he is a supreme power. He has taken birth in previous yugas as well, and he is very powerful. That's what he says. He didn't clearly say that he is the supreme personality of God. He is the Krishna supreme himself, right? And then Mother Yashoda, considering him as his own, ordinary child, she thought to bind Krishna with the rope. However, let's see, there are so many different, many points comes up here in this word, in this verse, where it says the supreme personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior, no interior, and no front and no rear. In other words, he's all pervading. So this is one of his opulence. He's all pervasive. He's everywhere. Right? Whatever you want to see in this material world, he is there. Right? Because he creates everything. So this is one aspect of understanding Krishna as all pervasive, as Paramatma. Is everywhere. He is there in every living being. Right? So, and then because he is not under the influence of element of time, so there is no influence of time onto Krishna. We are influenced, when we are a child, we can't run, we have to crawl. When they grew up, we can just slowly walk, and then again it goes in a gradual way. But just imagine Krishna, when he was just 3-4 days, he killed Putana demon. And the description of Putana, how it comes. You all know that the description how it comes. When Krishna suck the life from, while sucking the milk from her breast, she fell down. She went. She came back in her own original form. That's the Putana demon. Earlier, she came in a disguise, like a very beautiful woman, and so that no one in the Gokul stop her. She directly went onto where Krishna was, and then she took Krishna out, and then she started feeding Krishna, and she already had smeared Kalakuta beast, which is a very poison, and she knew very well that okay, this poison, if he drinks, he will die. But what happened? Krishna pulled out life from the Putana, and when Putana fell down, it's being described that she was very huge, that so many trees were being smashed away by her falling, and then just to burn her, there is the Gokulavasis, they had to cut down in many parts to burn Putana, right? So that's another description happens. So Krishna is not under the influence of time. Even 7 days he did Rasa Leela. So in 7 days when he did Govardhan Leela, what happened on the weakest part of his body, from the hand, you say left hand, and from the hand, the weakest part, the little finger, and in the little finger, Krishna lifted Govardhan Parvat hill is for 7 days and 7 nights without any trouble, and he was smiling. If you see any heavy weightlifter in this world, they don't smile. It's very much tighting. Okay, oh, I'm lifting it to it. But Krishna has taken the whole hill on his little finger, but he's smiling, and he not only smiling, he's giving pleasure to all the Brajavasis. So this Leela also has very nice pastimes where all the Brajavasis, they want to be with Krishna. Gopas, they want to be with Krishna. The Gopis, they want to be with Krishna. Radharani, she wants to be with Krishna. Even the Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, everyone, they wanted to be with Krishna. So Krishna fulfilled their desire for 7 days and 7 nights. Everyone, even the cows and the calves, the Gopas and the Gopis, Mother Yashoda and Radharani, everyone was under one shelter on the Govardhan hill. That's how Krishna gives pleasure to everyone over there. So he is not influenced by any time, neither there's a difference between his past, present, and future. He's always the same personality of Godhead, right? So his another name is Achyuta, who is never fall down. He's infallible, right? He exists in his own transcendental form all the time. He's always there in his own spiritual form. It doesn't matter if he's child or he's grown up or as young. He's always remain the same. His operations are always the same. Just to do the pastime, he has become child by the prayer of Mother Devaki and Nandamava, Mother Devaki and Vasudeva. But he's the same person, isn't it? So he is absolute and he's beyond relativity. So there is no logic actually applies to Krishna. So if you want to understand Krishna by a logical thing, we will get failed to understand Krishna. So one way, Krishna is the cause of this manifestation, but at the same time, Krishna has no cause, isn't it? So that's how. But still, Mother Yashoda, but still, Krishna, who is beyond the perception of the senses, had now appeared as a human child. For what? Right? For what Krishna appeared there? But there are three things. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains why he says, whenever there is a decline in the religious practices, isn't it? Krishna appears. He comes here to annihilate the demons, and he comes here to give pleasure to the devotees. That's the most important thing. Killing demons is not a big task for him, right? He is all pervasive. He is as a Paramatma in the heart, and we know very well this body is working, active only because Krishna is there. That consciousness is the spirit is there. The super spirit is there. That is why this body is working. Otherwise, it can't. And you just imagine Krishna is as a Paramatma is there. If he lives, it's done. There is no need to kill the demons. It's all done. But he comes here to do the pastime so that we devotees relish those pastimes and enjoy the pastimes. Right? That's why he comes. Yeah. Let's see. Prabhupada says in the Bhagavad Gita 10:12, Krishna is described as Supreme Brahman, Param Brahmam, Param Dhamam, Pavitram Param Bhavam. Right. So the word Brahma means the greatest. Krishna is greater than the greatest, being unlimited and all pervading. How can it be possible for all pervading to be measured or bound? So if you see in chapter 12, chapter 11, when Krishna shows the Virat form to Arjuna, Arjuna was bewildered. He could not see the beginning. He could not see the end. He could not see top in level. Krishna was expanding all over. And then he started praying, "Oh Krishna, please come down to your own now. I'm bewildered now. Now please come back. I'm fearful." So Krishna is all pervading, and how he can be measured and can be bound? It's not possible, right? Then again, Krishna is the time factor. Aham kalosmi. Krishna is the kala. So therefore, he is all pervading, not only in space but also in time. Then time and space, everywhere he is actually there. He's beyond this. We have measurements of time, but although we are limited by past, present, future, for Krishna, these do not exist. Right? Even Arjuna asks this question to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita as well. When Krishna says, "And I have given this knowledge to Vivasman earlier, and now I'm establishing this same knowledge unto you. How it is done?" Then Arjuna asks a question, "Can you please clarify me? Because you are same as of my age. Then how you had come earlier and then given knowledge to Vivaswan?" Then Krishna says, "I appear many, many times. So you, but I appear in my same self. I never forget everything." And he knows our future as well. We forget our past. We do not know our future. Even we do not know what's going to happen after 1 hour. Right? And also we forget everything before 1 hour what happened. Can you remember what we did or what we were doing at 5 p.m. Last Monday? It's not possible to remember everything, but Krishna remembers not only everything, he remembers every activities about all the jivas, right? That's how he is all pervasive. And every individual person can be measured, but Krishna has already shown that although he is also an individual, the entire cosmic manifestation is within his mouth. Right? This Leela comes up in previous chapter when Krishna showed everything in his mouth. So all these points consider Krishna cannot be measured. How did Mother Yashoda then want to measure him and bind him? We must conclude that this took place simply on the platform of pure transcendental love. Right? We'll discuss more points on this binding of Lord Krishna. This was the only cause, and Prabhupada's quotes from Brahma Samhita, Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Ananta Rupam Adyam Puranam Purusam Nama Yovanam Cha Vedesu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto Govindam Adi Purusam Tamaham Bhajami. So this is very, very nice verse where it says Vedesu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. Durlabham means what? It's very is kind of not approachable. It's very rare to understand. So just by understanding the Vedas, reading the Vedas, Krishna is Durlabha. It's not approachable. However, he becomes Adurlabham. You can approach him. By what? By Atma Bhakto, by Bhakto, by the devotees, Krishna is approachable. By devotion, we can understand Krishna well. But by reading Shastras, Vedas, without, here and there, without understanding that Krishna is the one who is supreme, he becomes Durlabha. And who he is? Let's see the purport. Everything is one because Krishna is supreme cause of everything. Krishna cannot be measured or calculated by Vedic knowledge. Vedasu Durlabham. He is available only to devotees. Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. And devotees can handle him because they act on the basis of loving service. Bhaktya Mam Avijananti Yavan Achasmitatvataha. Thus Mother Yashoda wanted to bind him. So Krishna cannot be bound. Krishna can be bound as well. Krishna cannot be bound by the yogis and jnanis, karmis, but Krishna can be bound by love and devotion. Right? We discussed the other day. Krishna says, "Aham bhakta paradhino." So Krishna says, "I am actually bound by Krishna, by the love and devotion of my devotees." Right? So he has anadi ananta rupam. He has no beginning, no end. He has unlimited of rupa, ananta rupam. He is Adyam Puranam. He is the oldest. However, he is the youngest. Right? He is the old Purusha, but he is the youngest one as well. He is Nava Yovana. He always remains 16 years of age. He never goes beyond that. Right? He's always in youth. And how to know this? This all can be known by devotion, by association of the devotees, by hearing and chanting with them, by discussing Krishna Katha with them. Right? Oh, it's already 9. Okay, let's see one more verse. Text 15. Taddama badhyamanasya sarvarbhakshya kritagasha dvaya anugolam abhuttena sandhande nyasya gopika. Yeah, Rupesh Prabhu, please read it. Okay, Pinky Mata, you can read, please.
Hare Krishna. When Mother Yashoda was trying to bind the offending child, she saw that the binding rope was short by a distance. The width of 2 fingers. Thus she bought another rope to join to it.
Yeah, so
Hare Krishna.
pastime starts now. Right. So Mother Yashoda has caught Krishna and she is now binding Krishna with an older motor. Right. As soon as she start binding Krishna and she made some round to Krishna with the older motor, and then she start making a knot, it always becomes 2 fingers short. So always 2 fingers short. And then what happens? She then brought another rope to join to it. So she brought another rope, join the ropes, binds her again, and hence tying the knot, it's again 2 fingers short. And the gopis, all the gopis, they started seeing this, and just by seeing that Mother Yashoda is getting tired and tired, they also started bringing the ropes as much as they had, and all the ropes they brought and they're binding, but Mother Yashoda could not bind. It's always remained 2 fingers short. And our Acharyas explains what the meaning of 2 fingers short. So there are two analogies. One analogy is that for anything what we do in this life, we need to do, there are two things important. One is our endeavor, and the second is Krishna's mercy. So we need to put our 100% to get something. At the same time, we need mercy of the Lord as well. If there is one lacking, it's difficult to get something. Just for example, there are a lot of examples in this world. We can see some people, they score very good in schools just by reading very little, and some people has to work very hard, even they can't score good. So still both are there, both are working behind it. So in all the aspects we can see that these two things are required. There is a endeavor of our own self, and then the mercy of the Lord. Everyone wants to be millionaire, isn't it? Everyone working hard to earn much money, and then everything, but still just few gets it, right? So there the mercy of Lord is required, and at the same time endeavor is required. You can't say that, okay, I'm merciful, I have got all the mercies and I won't need to do anything else. You will get everything, but we have to do something as well. So our endeavor, at the same time Krishna's mercy, that's one aspect. And second aspect Acharya explains is that Krishna cannot be bound, Krishna cannot be known by jnana and karma, right? Jnana, karma, or these two things, we cannot understand Krishna very well. However, by bhakti we can understand Krishna. So even we can say two things, karma and yoga or Ashtanga yoga. Even by these two, we cannot understand Krishna very well. But by bhakti, you can understand it. These are the two things. Two finger shots. If you follow the path of karma yoga or jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, we will always remain a bit short to achieve Krishna, to understand Krishna. But if you follow the path of bhakti yoga, that comes when we'll see when Mother Yashoda binds Krishna, right? So these are the two aspects our Acharya explains about this 2 finger shot. Let's see what Prabhupada says in the purport. Here is the first chapter in Krishna's exhibition of unlimited potency to Mother Yashoda when she tried to bind him. So earlier, just before this verse, we understood that Krishna is expanding, all pervasive. How can someone measure him? So that's how we see all the ropes what Mother Yashoda got and found, it's always remained the short. So the rope was too short. The Lord had already shown his unlimited potency by killing Putana, Saktashur, Trinavrta. Now Krishna exhibited another vibhuti or display of potency to Mother Yashoda. Unless I agree, Krishna desired to show, you cannot bind me. By this time, Mother Yashoda is working very hard to bind Krishna. Even she is getting all the ropes from neighbor, but still it's always becoming short. So thus, although Mother Yashoda, in her attempt to bind Krishna, added one rope after another, ultimately she was a failure. When Krishna agreed, however, she was successful. That's coming in the next verses. So in other words, one must be in transcendental love with Krishna, but that does not mean that one can control Krishna. When Krishna is satisfied with one's devotional service, he does everything himself. Sevan mukhe hi jivado swayam eva sprate adaha. Right. So this verse explains about how Krishna can be revealed. Swayam eva sprate adaha. So Krishna can be revealed by what? Sevan mukhe jivado. When we start doing seva, right? When we start taking the holy name of the Lord with love and devotion, it starts from our tongue, chanting the holy name and taking Krishna prasadam. Shevan Mukhe, when we start serving in Jiva, though, from Jiva, Swayam Eva Spratyada, Krishna reveals by his own. Right? So he reveals more and more to the devotees as the devotees advances in service. So service is very important. That's why Prabhupada always says bhakti means devotional service. He never says only devotion, he always says devotional service. Right? And then that kind of revelation by which we can reveal, Krishna can reveal more and more to us. So jiva, though, the service begins with the tongue, with chanting and taking the prasad of Krishna. Ataha Sri Krishna Nam Adi. So Krishna Nam Adi, Krishna Sarupa Nama Guna Leela Adi, this all comes up. Now Bhaved Graham Indriya. So by our senses we cannot understand Krishna. But Sevan Mukhe Jivado Swayam Eva Spratyadaha, it get manifested by Krishna's mercy. When we start serving Krishna with our tongue, chanting the holy name, taking Krishna Prasadam, and as we start chanting and taking Prasadam, our hearts get cleansed, and then we say, I think today, I think just a couple of hours back, I shared some notes, isn't it, in the chat. Let's go back to that. It is coming in the same context actually. Let me share a bit. Can you see this, my screen? Yes.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, so I think from here I was sharing few things where it says that it's very difficult to understand Krishna, but where do I see? The Gyanis and the Yogis and the Karmis, they cannot expect this direct cooperation of the Lord. They are not able to satisfy the Lord by transcendental loving service, nor do they believe in such service of the Lord. However, the bhakti process, as performed under the regulative principles of Vedic bhakti or devotional service, following the prescribed rules and regulations, is defined by the revealed scriptures and confirmed by the great acharyas. This practice can help the neophyte devotee rise to the stage of raga bhakti, in which the Lord responds from within as a Chaitya Guru. Krishna, as a spiritual master, he is within our heart and he will respond. Swayam eva spratyahada. So he knows very well what is our intention, right? And then he will guide us accordingly. So all the transcendentalists other than the devotees make no distinction between the individual soul and super soul. So everyone thinks that, okay, I am God, it's himself. There's no difference between myself and God. There's no difference between individual soul and super soul, because they miscalculate the super consciousness and the individual consciousness to be one and the same. It's not one and the same. And these are one, at the same time both are different as well. So such miscalculation by the non-devotee makes them unfit to receive any direction from within, and therefore they are bereft of the direct cooperation of the Lord. Right? So that it is. So after many births, when such a non-dualist comes to understand that the Lord is worshipable and the devotee is simultaneously one with the Lord, the different from the Lord, only then can he surrender unto Lord Vasudeva. Pure devotional service begins from this point. What is the point? The point is that when we understand that the devotee is simultaneously one with and different from the Lord, at the same time oneness and difference. One means what sense? We are also spiritual spark, Sachidananda, but we are very tiny. That's the difference. Krishna is Vibhu, we are Anu. Krishna is massive, very huge, and we are very tiny. We are also spiritual spark. We are coming from the spiritual world. Krishna from the spiritual world. These are the similarities, but the difference is that we are actually very tiny. Krishna is supreme. The difference is we are servant, Krishna is the master. Right? When we say we both are same, it means we are master. There is no difference between master and servant. But the difference is that Krishna is the supreme and we are the servant. And when we understand this point, then pure devotional service starts from that point, right? So this is I will stop today here. Anyone any quick questions, thought, comment on this section today we discussed? We'll see more tomorrow when Krishna gets bound by Mother Yashoda. Hare Krishna. We'll continue from text 16 tomorrow.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
So
Krishna. Prabhuji.
we'll jump on Monday and continue from text 16. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.